Well, I'm so glad to be back with you again this afternoon.
很高兴今天下午又一次回到弟兄姊妹当
We're
中，
going to continue our study of God
我们继续要研究神论
and of the greatness of God.
和神的伟大。
There was a time in human history in the West
在西方，在人类历史的期间，
when the study of God was considered the queen of all sciences.
有一段时间，神论研究神是所有科学探讨的最焦点。
Now, I want you to think about that.
我要你好好思考这个问题。
Science,
科学研究
the gathering of knowledge,
把所有的知识都汇聚在一块儿，
exploration,
探讨、
investigation,
研究、
discovery.
发现。
Those are words that should apply to our understanding of the study of God.
这些字眼应该用在我们探讨研究神方面
And the study of Scripture itself.
和研究圣经。
You know, I really enjoy watching science programs.
你知道，我很喜欢看一些科学的节目，
Programs with regard to space exploration,
像太空的探索啊等等
the
这类节目，
exploration of the oceans,
还有海底的探索，
are going from the large to the small, the exploration of atomic exploration, we could
从
say,
大到小，然后最后探讨原子的结构等等。
of the smallest particles and elements of our existence.
我们生存的最小的、最渺小的这个分子、中子这些研究，
Even the exploration of mathematics and physics.
甚至研究物理学、数学等等。
Now, as great as all those things are,
尽管这些事都是非常的伟大的探索，
and as exciting as they can be,
叫人非常兴奋，
they're still the study of something finite.
但是这些的研究都是有限的探索而已。
Even though we've only explored just a few % of what we know the ocean to be,
尽管我们只探讨了整个大海当中的几个很小的一个比率而已。
the ocean is part of creation and it's finite.
海洋是神所造的其中万物当中之一，也是有限的。
What can be discovered there is limited.
我们在海洋中所能发现的也是有限的，
It can be exhausted.
可以有穷尽的，有止境的。
But when it comes to God, that's not true.
但是当我们探索神的时候，那是永无止
He
境，
cannot be exhausted.
它是没有限度的。
There will always be more and more discovery of who He is.
我们总是可以发掘越来越多有关神的事情。
It's the same way with Scripture.
圣经也是如此。
You may think you understand a verse,
你也许你以为你明白这节经文了，
and you can understand a verse,
的确你可以明白一些经文，
and you can drink from it,
你也可以从中
be
得到
fed from it.
益处，得到一些好处。
But you've not exhausted the meaning and application of that text.
但是你永远不会完全的明白那节经文的完全的意思。
And that's what's so exciting about our study of God.
所以当我们研究神的时候，是何等的叫人兴奋。
I'm giving you truths for new believers,
我是在为初信徒教导真理，给你一些真理。
but even the greatest truths of the greatest scholars do not even begin to scratch the surface.
但是最伟大的神学家也仅仅蜻蜓点水，仅仅了解一点点而已。
Now, I want us to start our study by going to Psalms 77.
好，我们开始看诗篇77篇，研究神论。
Now, as you're looking for Psalm 77,
你在找诗篇77篇的时候呢，
I want you to think about something.
我要你思考一些事情。
We've been here for 2 days now,
我们已经在这2天了，
last night and today,
从昨天到今天，
and we've studied a lot of Bible verses.
我们已经研究了很多的经文。
Do you realize that most of them come out of the book of Psalms?
你注意到没有？大多数都是从诗篇出来的。
Now, in a sense, we can say that the book of Psalms is the song book of the Bible.
从一个角度，我们可以说是诗篇是圣经里的诗歌本。
But if you write a book on the doctrine of God,
但如果你写一本有关神论的书，
do you know where most of your verses are going to come from?
你知道大多数你的经文会从何而来吗？
The book of Psalms,
会从诗篇，
the song book of the Bible.
是圣经里的诗歌本。
Now, what does that tell us?
这个告诉我们什么功课呢？
Well, first of all, the knowledge of God should always result in worship.
好，首先认识神的知识一定会导致敬拜赞美，
Worship and obedience.
敬拜和顺服。
But also, we should see something.
好，而且我们要看到，
That the songs that we sing as worship
我们所唱的敬拜的诗歌
should be didactic.
应该是有教导性的，
They should teach
应该教我们学习功课，
great truths about God.
应该教我们有关神的一些伟大的真理。
Many people like certain worship songs today because of the rhythm.
很多人喜欢一些诗歌啊，因为它的韵调，它的调子很好听，
And that's not necessarily bad.
这本身没什么大问题啊。
But how do we determine if it's really a good worship song?
但我们怎么决定这首歌到底是不是一首真正的好的敬拜诗歌呢？
First of all, we have to ask ourselves a question.
首先，我们要问自己一个问题啊：
Does it communicate biblical truth?
这首诗歌是不是传达了合乎圣经的真理？
And then with regard to the kind of music in the song,
然后这个诗歌的里面的音乐音调，
you know, there's always these debates.
你知道总是有不同的争辩。
Is the music too fast?
这个音乐是不是太快啦？
Well, I look at it another way.
但是我从另一个角度来看，
Does the music or the rhythm
这个诗歌的快慢节奏
correspond to the thing that's being taught?
是否与所教导的合拍配合呢？
Does it correspond?
是不是合拍同步？
For example, if there's a song about Jesus Christ dying on the cross,
譬如有一首歌是关乎耶稣死在十字架上的，
and people are almost singing as though it was a hilarious circus.
但是别人唱诗歌就像那马戏团里头欢欢唱唱的，
The rhythm is really upbeat, and
那个拍子节奏很快啊，
I
很欢乐的，
I have to question what's going on.
那我就要怀疑到底怎么回事儿。
Is that rhythm corresponding to the truth that's being taught?
这个节拍是否与所教导的真理配合呢？
And although a rhythm can be delightful,
尽管这个调子可能是很轻快的，
Christian music shouldn't be morbid.
基督徒的歌不应该总是哀歌，像丧礼的歌
It
一样，
should not be contradictory or superficial.
也不应该自我矛盾或者很肤浅。
And the center of all worship is not us, but God.
我们所敬拜的核心，然而不是我们自己，乃是神。
Is it teaching truth?
这首歌是不是在教导真理？
Real truth about God?
真正关乎神的真理呢？
Can I learn about God from the song that I'm singing?
我是否可以从我所唱的诗歌当中学到有关神的事情呢？
You know, I also would like to give you this observation.
我也愿意给你另外一个观察。
I've been in many churches where people raise their hands a lot.
我到很多教会，他们都喜欢举手。
And I'm not going to say that that's wrong. Not at all.
我不愿意说这个举手本身是错啊，
Not at all. Am I going to make fun of that?
我也不会去嘲笑他们举手敬拜赞美。
But I have noticed something in many cases,
但是在很多情况下，我注意到一件事，
that oftentimes the raising of the hands do not correspond to the truth that's being taught.
往往他们举手的时候和歌中所教导的真理不配合。
But it corresponds to the rhythm of the music.
他举手的时候，乃是有高调的时候，有兴奋的时候，他才举
The
手。
music raises to a crescendo, it raises to a high point.
当音乐到了一个高潮的时候，他就跟着那个拍子举手，
And automatically everyone's hands go up.
大家自动的就举手赞美了。
Now again, I don't want to say that that's necessarily wrong,
我再说一次啊，这本身不见得是错啊，
but it does present a concern.
但是却叫我有一点
Are we being
忧心。
moved by the truth that is in the song?
我们是不是被这首诗歌里面所教导真理所感动呢？
Or are we just being moved by the rhythm mindlessly?
还是我们不用脑筋的跟着音调而起伏呢？
Those are just some things I wanted to point out,
这是我要指出来的一些事情。
because worship is to be pure worship.
因为敬拜应该是纯粹的敬拜神，
And emotion is good
有感觉、有情感很好，
if it conforms to the truth being stated.
只要这情感是跟所教导的真理符合、合拍的，就没问题。
Now let's go to Psalm 77,
好，我们翻到诗篇77篇，
and let's read verses 7 through 13, or 7 through 15.
我们读第7节到15节，7到15。
Will the Lord reject forever? And again, will he never be favorable again? Has his loving kindness ceased forever? Has his promise come to an end forever? Has God forgotten to be gracious, or has he in anger withdrawn his compassion? Then I said, it is my grief that the right hand of the Most High has changed. I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will meditate on all your works and muse on all your deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God? You are the God who works wonders. You have made known your strength among the peoples. You have by your power redeemed your people and the sons of Jacob and Joseph.
7到15节，我们一起读。难道主要永远丢弃我，不再施恩吗？难道他的慈爱永远穷尽？他的应许世事废弃吗？难道神忘记开恩，因发怒就止住他的慈悲吗？我便说，这是我的懦弱，但我要思念至高者显出右手之年代。我要提说耶和华所行的，我要纪念你古时的奇事，我也要思想你的经营，默念你的作为。神啊，你的作为是洁净的，有何神大如神呢？你是行奇事的神，你曾在列邦中彰显你的能力，你用膀臂除了你的名，就是雅各和约瑟的子孙。
Now, verse 13 is foundational to this text.
13节是这一段经文的基础啊。
Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God.
神啊，你的作为是洁净的，有何神大如神呢？
Now, we're going to see something that we learned last night. We're going to see it again in this text.
好，我们要学习一下昨天晚上我们所学到的这一节经文，我们再次要看到。
It is not of essential importance that I understand what God is doing.
是非常重要的，我要看到神所做的事。
It is essential that I understand who God is.
这是极其关键的，我要看到神是什么样一位神。
Because if I know who He is,
因为如果我认识他是谁的话，
His character, His virtue,
他的品格、他的美德，
then even though I don't understand what He's doing,
那么尽管我不知道他为什么做这些事，我不明白，
I know that it's good
我仍然知道他做的是好的，是美
because
善的，
He is good.
因为他本身是美善的。
Even in darkness, I can rest.
尽管在黑暗中，我可以安息。
And that's what we see here.
这就是我们现在所看
Now,
到。
first, look at verse 7 through 10.
好，看看7到10节。首先，
We see some very, very disturbing things here.
这里我们看到一些非常叫人担忧的事儿。
The psalmist is suffering.
是诗人正在受苦受难。
Suffering is something that's going to happen to you if you're a Christian.
如果你是基督徒，迟早你要受苦难。
It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when.
不是如果，而是什么时候一定会来到的。
And suffering can really take its toll on the believer.
而且痛苦往往会叫信徒要付代价，会叫他痛苦难堪。
Maybe not the first day.
也许不是一开始啊，
Maybe not the first month.
也许不是头一个月就叫你受苦受不了。
But as suffering goes on and on, it begins to have its negative effect on us.
但是当苦难不断持续下去的时候，就开始会叫我们有一点受不了。
I can, of course, prove that from the scriptures.
当然，我可以从圣经证明这一点。
In the case of Job and many others,
譬如约伯啊，还有其他很多受苦的圣徒，
I can testify to it in my own life.
我可以从我自己的生命中做见证，
And because of my own weakness.
因着我自己的软弱。
After suffering for a long time,
当我受苦受了一段很长的时间之后，
even the strongest can begin to doubt.
就算最强壮的圣徒都可能开始怀疑。
And that is why it is so important that we understand God's character.
所以我们认识神的品格是如此的重要。
Another thing I want you to understand.
另外有一件我要你明白的，
God is not going to tell you all the time what he's doing.
神不见得每一次都会告诉你他到底在你的苦难中做的是什么事，
And he does that on purpose
他是故意不告诉你的，
so that you will trust in his character
好叫你信靠他的品格，
and not in your understanding of what he's doing.
而不是信靠你对他所做的事情的理解。
Do you see that?
看到没有？
Because ultimately that is the way in which we most glorify God.
因为最终我们借着不明白而信靠他，我们最能够荣耀他。
It is when we trust him,
就是当我们信靠他的时候，我们才能荣耀他。
even when there seems to be no reason to do it.
尽管我们找不到理由可以信靠，我们仍然信靠。
At what point in Job's life did he most glorify God?
在约伯生命的哪一个阶段，他最荣耀神？
Was it in the middle of great prosperity?
是不是在他最成功发达的时候呢？
No.
不，
Because even Satan could say the only reason that you trust God is because he's blessed you.
因为就算撒旦也可以说，他之所以信靠你，因为你祝福他，他当然信靠你喽。
But it is when Job holds on in the midst of suffering.
但是当约伯在痛苦当中，他仍然抓住神不放的时候，
Because he has now seen God.
因为他如今他见到神，亲眼见到
He's
他，
seen his character
他见到神的品格，
and he trusts in him.
他信靠他。
So suffering can have its negative effect on us.
所以苦难有时候会叫我们有一个负面的回应，叫
In
我们有负
Psalm
面的影响。
77,
在诗篇77篇
verse 7,
第7节，
we see this suffering in the psalmist.
我们看到世人所经历的苦难。
Will the Lord reject forever?
难道主要永远丢弃我？
Will he never be favorable again?
他不再施恩吗？
Have you ever felt that way?
你有没有这样的经历？
And I want to tell you something. The devil will whisper this in your ear.
我要告诉你哈，撒旦迟早会向你说这样的悄悄话的。
I read this morning how he comes to Eve.
我今天早上读到他怎么来到夏娃面前，
And what does he say?
他说什么？
He lies.
他撒谎，对不对？
God has said you can't eat from any tree of the garden.
神已经说了，你不能够吃树上园中任何树上所有树上果子，除了这棵
He's
树。
trying to make God look cruel.
他想要把叫神变得很残酷。
The devil in the midst of suffering will come.
当你受苦的时候，撒旦会进来，混进来，
God will never be favorable again toward you.
他会说：“神啊，永远不会再向你施恩啦！
Now run away from him.
你现在要逃避，
He doesn't want you.
他不要你了，他弃掉你
You
了。
see?
看到没有？
And so, in verse 8,
好，再看第8节。
has his loving kindness ceased forever? Has his promise come to an end forever?
难道他的慈爱永远穷尽，他的应许世世废弃吗？
You ever felt that way?
你有没有这样的感觉呢？
That his promises were gone?
他的应许不再存在了，
That his loving kindness was gone?
他的慈爱已经被废掉了。
Look at the life of Joseph.
你看看约瑟的一生，
You know, young Joseph.
那个年轻的约瑟，记得
He has some dreams, doesn't he?
他做了一些梦，对不对？
And what do these dreams say?
他的梦告诉他什么？
That God's going to exalt him
神有一天会高举他，
above his brothers.
使他超越他的弟兄们。
God's even going to exalt him above his father and his mother.
神甚至会高举他，超越他的父母亲。
When he was sold by his brothers,
当他被他的哥哥们出卖的时候，
when he was thrown into the well,
当他被丢到井里头，
when he was then sent to Egypt,
然后被差到埃及去，
and then he's in prison in Egypt.
然后他在埃及坐牢了。
I want to submit something to you.
我要建议一件事啊，
His greatest problem was not, I'm never going to see my family again.
他最大的问题不是哎呀，我永远见不到我的家人啦，不，
The thing that was ripping his guts out
叫他最心碎、最痛苦的，
was not, I'm in this prison.
不是哎呀，我在坐牢，不，
Do you know what it was?
你知道是什么事吗？
Everything God said to me was not true.
是神对我所说的一切，竟然不是真的。
Has all his promises failed?
难道他的应许都废掉了吗？
Because if they have,
因为如果神的应许废了，
there's nothing.
他就一无所有了。
I mean, if God's not trustworthy,
我的说，如果神不可靠、不信实的话，
and sometimes we feel that way,
有时候我们的确这样感
especially
觉，
when we're younger,
特别当我们年轻的时候，
especially when the pain is great.
特别当痛苦很大的时候，
But we know the story of Joseph,
当
don't
我
we?
们知道约瑟最后的结局，对不对？
Everything God said came to pass.
神所应许的每一句话都应验了。
But the psalmist says in verse 8, has his promise come to an end forever?
那第8节，诗人说：“难道他的慈爱永远穷尽，他的应许世世废弃吗？”
Has God, verse 9, forgotten to be gracious, or has he in his anger withdrawn his compassion?
第9节，难道神忘记开恩，因他发怒就止住他的慈悲吗？
And then look at verse 10.
再看第10节，
Then I said, it is my grief that the right hand of the Most High has changed.
我便说这是我的软弱，但我要追念至高者显出右手之年代。
What if you come to a point
如果你来到人生的一个阶段，
where you think the promises of God has failed,
你认为神的应许已经失落了，
that God himself has changed,
神改变了，
there's nothing left for you.
你现在一无所有了，完了，
There's no hope.
没有指望了。
Now, what can cause that?
什么会把你带到这样的地步
You？say suffering.
你说苦难，
Yeah, but how is it that suffering can make you feel that
那
way?
为什么苦难会叫你落到这样的田地？
Because you're not firmly established in who God is.
因为你没有在神的品格上、神的信实上扎根，
You do not know God.
你不真正的认识神，
You have forgotten who He is.
或者你忘掉了到底神是谁，
And that's not pleasing.
这不讨神喜悦的。
That is why before you ever enter into suffering,
所以在你受苦难之前，
you should spend your days being established in the knowledge of God.
你应该花时间好好的认识神。
So that when suffering does come,
所以当苦难临到的时候，
and the whisperer says God has failed,
当那个撒旦在你耳边静悄悄地说神失败啦，
and the people around you even say, where is your God?
你四周围的人也会讥诮你，神在哪里呀？
Even if you're blind with pain,
就算你痛苦到
you
极
will be
点，
able to stand up
你仍然可以站立得住。
and say this,
你可以说
my God does not change.
我的神永不改变，
He is faithful
他是信实的，
and will be faithful until the end.
他会信实一直到底。
That is when you most glorify God.
这个时候是你最荣耀神的
But
时
how
刻，
can you do that?
但你怎么做得到呢？
Only because you know how great He is.
唯有当你认识到神是何等的伟大的时
And
候。
that is why preachers are weakening their congregations.
所以为什么传道人在使他们的信徒越来越软弱？
Because they're not teaching on God.
因为传道人不再教导神论了，
Instead, they're giving little principles to live by.
取而代之的，他们仅仅教导一些生活的原则啊。
When what you need
但
is
是
the
你
knowledge of God.
真正需要的是认识神的知识。
Now, if you come to this point
如果你来到这样的地步，
where you think that even God has changed,
你认为神改变了，神已经改变了，
you're in such confusion that you're beginning to think and say things about God that are not true.
你如此的混乱，你论到神的时候，你讲的话都不是合乎圣经的。
Here's what you should do.
你应该做的是，
Look at verse 11and
看看
12.
11到12节。
I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old.
我要提说耶和华所行的，我要纪念你古时的奇事。
I will meditate on all your works, verse 12, and muse on your deeds.
12节，我也要思想你的经营，默念你的作为。
Do you know something we're always being encouraged to do throughout the scriptures?
你知道圣经里头神不断提醒鼓励我们要做什么吗？
Remember,
要纪念，
remember,
要记得，
remember.
不要忘记，纪念。
That's why God was always telling them, pile up a pile of rocks in the middle of the river.
所以神总是叫什么？哎，在这个河里头要堆一大堆石头，要纪念。
So that you can always remember, I divided this river so
所
that
以
you could come through.
总叫你纪念，我把这个红海分开，我把这个河分开，你要纪念。
So that when your children say, why are those rocks in the middle of the river?
所以当你的儿女问的时候，为什么在河当中有这一堆石头呢？
You say, that's where God split the river on our behalf.
你就回答：哎，这是神为我们把河分开了，约旦河分开了。
In our mission called Heart Cry,
在我们的宣教机构叫做新生会，
we do not raise funds.
我们不去募捐募款啊，
We do not make our needs known.
我们也不告诉别人我们经济上的需要。
And there have been many times when we had nothing
往往我们会经历一无所有的情况，
and no one knew it.
别人都不知道。
And yet the very next day, God fills up every need.
然而第二天，神就使我们所需的都得到满足了。
I remember when I was a young man
我记得当我是个年轻人的时候，
and I needed $30,000 in one day.
我一天之内需要3万块钱，
Nobody knew it.
没人知道。
Every day I would go to the mailbox.
每一天我都到信箱去看，
$5 would come in.
5块钱寄进来
$10 would
，10
come
块
in.
钱顶多。
And then finally it came to the day.
最后到了其中了，最后那一天，
And that afternoon, nothing came in.
那天下午邮箱里头没有钱，
I got in my old car and I drove home.
我就进了我的老爷车，我就开回家了。
And I said, well, God, tomorrow.
我说神啊，明天
And I was laughing.
我在笑啊，
We're going to need
我
$30,000.
们需要3万块钱呢。
$30,000 came the next day.
第二天3万块，
And all the
来了。
missionaries were paid for.
所有的宣教士的需用都满足了，都付清了。
A few years ago,
几年前
no one knew it.
没人知道，
We had a $150,000 deficit.
我们欠了15万块钱。
That doesn't mean we owed that much
哦，
money
不是说我们欠那么多了，真
because
赤字，
we don't go in debt.
因为我们不去欠债啊。
But it meant we spent that much money
那意思就是我们花了那么多钱是赤字，
and spent up all our resources.
我们所有的资财都用尽了，
Nobody knew it
也没人知道，
except me,
只有我
one of our administrators,
和我们其中一个管理员
and one of our board members.
和我们一个执事的一个成员，3个人。
It's the last day of the year,
这是年终的最后一天了，
December 31st,
12月31日，
the last day.
最后一天儿，
There's not 10 days left, there's 1 day left.
不是剩10天啊，只剩1天了。
And I'm sitting there at my desk.
我坐在我的办公桌上，
It's about 9 o'clock in the morning.
那早上9点钟啊，
The
那时候
administrator comes in.
这管理员就来了，
He said
他说
it was either $40,000 or $60,000 have just come in.
大概有4、5万块钱刚刚人家寄进来。
I said, you're kidding.
我说真的吗？
He said, no.
他说没开玩笑，真的。
We cried, we prayed,
我们一起哭，一起祷告，
and then I went back to studying the
然后
Bible.
我又继续去查圣经。
He came in
他
a
又
few
来了
hours later,
几个钟头之后又来了。
and again, it was either 40 or the same amount. He said $60,000 have come in,
说
or
大概
$40,000.
6-7万块钱的又来了，又进来了，哇！
I said, I know, you told me.
我说你已经跟我讲过了。
He said,
他
no,
说不是的，不是的。
another
另外
has come in.
另外4-5万块钱又来了。
I said, you're
我说
kidding.
你开玩笑？
He said,
他说
no.
不是开玩笑的。
By the end of the day, $326,000 had come in.
那天没有结束之前，32万块钱进来了。
Now, why did I tell you this?
为什么我跟你讲这些事？
We've been in that situation so many times,
因为我们经历这样的情况太多次了，
and every time
每次
I doubt,
我都怀疑，小心。
and every
但
time
是每次
I come home
我回到家
moping,
，moping，
sad,
我很难过，
and defeated.
我失败、绝望、软弱。
And every time
但是
my wife looks at me
每次我老婆看着我，
and she says, "Oh, so God's failed again,
说
right?
哎呀，神又失败了，对不对？她说，
Did he fail back at this time?"
他那一次有没有失败？
I said, "No."
我说没失败。
Well, did he fail the other time
那
you said
次
we were going to
那次
go
你记得
under?
吗？我们差一点完了，他失败没有？
No.
没有。
And you remember the last 20 times you told us this was the end of Heart Cry?
你记得20次了，你告诉我，哎呀，我们的新生会完蛋了，到此结束了，多少次？20次了。
In any of those times did he fail?
哪一次他失败过？
No.
没有。
So why are you saying he's going to fail?
那为什么这次会失败？
Remember.
记得，你要
Remember.
纪念，不要忘记了。
Do you know what I've noticed?
你知道我注意到什么
I'm going to
事？
share something very personal with you.
我现在要讲一些很个人的事情啊，
Real miracles.
真正的神迹。
I mean like supernatural interventions.
我是像超自然的介入啊，神的介入。
They don't happen every day.
那这样的神迹不是天天发生的啊。
If you're around a preacher who tells you that supernatural interventions are happening every day in his life, he's probably exaggerating.
如果你碰到一个传道人，他说天天啊，神在我身上彰显超自然的神迹啊，他可能在夸大啊。
But if you're living by faith,
但如果你凭信心生活，
there will be times when God supernaturally intervenes.
你会经历到你生命当中，神会超自然的介入你的生命中，
Whether it's a great deliverance
不论是一个很大的拯救，
or he heals somebody,
或者他医治一些人，
he answers an extraordinary prayer.
或者他垂聽了一个不寻常的祷告。
And you know what I've discovered?
你知道我发现什么？
That when it happens,
当这些事发生的时候，
it's as clear as a bell. It really happened.
这是清清楚楚、毫无质疑的发生。
But when a couple of years go by,
但是过了几年之后呢，
it's like the whisperer comes
就像这个说悄悄话的来了，撒旦来了，
and he says something like this.
他会说
Did that really happen that way?：“
真的发生了吗？
Isn't there a natural explanation
你
for
难道
why
找
that
不到
happened?
一个自然的解释的理由吗？”
So that you begin to doubt the extraordinary deliverances of God.
你就开始怀疑神对你的超自然的、不寻常的拯救了，
And you lose confidence.
你就失去了信心。
What's the cure for that?
哦，这一切的疗法、治疗是什么呢？
Knowing his character.
是认识他的品德。
And what does the psalmist say here?
哦，诗人这里怎么说呢？
He says in verse 11, I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old.
7节他说：“我要提说耶和华所行的事，我要纪念你古时的启示。”
That's why, young people, it's oftentimes good to have a diary.
所以年轻人啊，往往有一本日记本很好。
And when God does something,
所以当神为你做一些事的时候，
you write it down.
记下来，
You put the date there.
把日期写下来，
And you go back to it.
你要不断的回到那个日子。
I was in this terrible problem and God delivered
当
me.
我遇到这么可怕的难题的时候，神拯救了我，神垂听祷告。
But even more important,
但是更重要的，
going back to the scriptures
你要回到圣经，
and seeing all the great acts of deliverance.
看神在历史上一次次的拯救。
And you know what else the devil will do?
你知道撒旦还会做什么吗？
He'll say, yeah, he delivered them
他说：“哎，是他拯救了他们，没错，
because they were righteous.
因为他们是公义的，他们是好人呢。
But you,
但你呢？
you know how sinful you
你
are.
知道你是何等的邪恶，
And that's why you got to go back to the scriptures.
所以你要回到圣经。
He's never delivered perfect people.
他从来不拯救完全人，
He's delivered believing, clinging people
他拯救的是那些信靠他的、抓住他的罪人。
with broken and contrite spirits.
尽管这些人忧伤痛悔，
There were times when even a wicked king would repent and God would deliver him.
甚至有些情况，一个很邪恶的王悔改了，神都会拯救他。
And then he says in verse 12, I will meditate on all your work and I will muse on all your deeds.
12节，我也要思想你的经营，默念你的作为。
Our heads are oftentimes very empty.
我们的脑袋瓜往往空空如也，
They're full of vanity.
充满的都是虚妄的思想。
They're meditating upon useless things.
往往我们所思想的都是那没用的东西，胡思
And
乱
that's
想。
one of the reasons why we can be so weak.
所以这是其中一个原因，我们会那么软弱
We。should be meditating upon the past works of God
我们应该默念神过去的作为，
to empower us to trust Him in the present.
好叫我们得到能力，可以此时此刻信靠他。
The scriptures should constantly be in your mind,
圣经应该不断在我们的思想里面
declaring to you, behold your God.
宣告，向你宣告，看哪，你的神。
Now let me share with you a problem about scripture memory.
好，让我跟你讲一个要背诵经文的一个问题啊。
Many times we're told to memorize scriptures that have a lot to do with little principles of how to live the Christian life.
往往我们别人叫我们背诵的经文都是有关我们生活上的一些原则问题，
Now that's good,
这些很好，没错啊，
but it's not enough.
但是不够。
Maybe you should meditate on scriptures that talk about the greatness and the faithfulness of your God.
也许你应该记一些经文，背诵一些经文，是关乎神的伟大、神的品格、美德的经文。
Because it's more important that you know Him than you know how.
因为你认识他，比知道如何做事情更重要。
Now let's continue.
好，我们继续。
Look what he says. After he meditates on who God is,
好，我们看他说什么。他思念了神的伟大之后呢，
look at the transformation in verse 13.
看看13节他的大改变。
Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great like our God?
神啊，你作为是洁净的，有何神大如神呢？
When you're in the midst of suffering,
当你在苦难的当中，
there will, at times, accusations against God will form in your mind and heart.
有时候你的心里头会有一些对神的控告和误解。
And you know there's a tempter who's always wanting you to think that way.
你知道有一位试探者，他总是叫你想入非非。
How can you stand against his lies about God?
你怎么能够抵挡撒旦对你的谎言呢？
How can you stand against your own lies about God?
你怎么能够抵挡你自己对神的误解呢？
Through a greater knowledge of the greatness of God.
借着对神更深的认识，
Let me give you some really good advice
让我给你一些很好的建议。
that has been given to me by countless godly men.
有许多敬虔人把这些建议给了我。
Do not let your heart preach to you.
不要让你自己的心向你讲道，
You preach the scriptures to your heart.
你要用圣经向你自己的心讲道。
You see the difference?
你看到这两者的不同吗？
Constantly, people are allowing their own minds, their fleshly minds, to preach to them.
不断的人允许他们那个肉体的心啊，向他们自己说话，向自己讲道。
Tell your mind and heart to shut up
你告诉你自己的心，你不要胡思乱想，闭口。
and preach to your heart and mind.
你要用圣经向自己的心说话。
And after he does that, there's a transformation.
好，他这样之后呢，他的生命就改变了。
Notice the suffering isn't gone.
你注意啊，这时候苦难还没有过去，
His circumstances haven't changed.
他的环境还没有改变。
But in verse 14, he says, You are the God who works wonders. You have made known your strength among the peoples.
14节他说：“你是行奇事的神，你曾在列邦中 彰显你的能力。
Now notice this.
注意啊，
He didn't make it known among just isolated individuals.
注意，他没有把他的作为向一些个体显明，
But he's made known his greatness among the peoples,
他乃是在列邦当中彰显他的能力，
among multitudes.
在许多人面前彰显他大能。
There are countless Christians that have died in prison,
有许许多的基督徒死在监狱里，
died in the gallows,
死在这个断头台上，
starved to death.
饿死了。
And yet before their death,
但是他们临死前，
they raised their hand
他们举起手来，
and they let the world know.
他们要全世界知道，
They testify,
他们做见证，
my God has not failed.
我的神没有叫我失望，
He has been faithful.
他是信实的，
And he will take me through this river you call death.
他会把我带过这个你称之为死亡之河，
And he will translate me into glory.
他会把我带进荣耀里。
Christopher Love, right before he was to be killed for the faith.
一个殉道者叫做 Crystal Love， 在他临终前，
You know what his wife wrote him letters.
你知道他的妻子写给他一些信，
After you read those letters,
你读那些信之后，
the only thing you can say,
你唯一可以说的是，
what a woman.
哇，这个女人，哇，真了不起。
Or maybe better, what a God.
或者你应该更好，应该
Because
说
this is what she
这位
tells
神是
him.
何等伟大，因为他告诉他说，
This is what she tells him.
这个他妻子对他说，
Don't you back up.
哎，你别退后啊，
Don't you give in.
不要做胆小鬼啊，不要
I
放
know
弃。
what you're thinking, husband.
老公，我知道你想的是啥，
You're going to be killed and leave me as a widow and your children as orphans.
你要被杀，然后我会变成寡妇，你的孩子变成孤儿，对不对？
Don't you let that make you compromise.
尽管如此，你千万不要妥协。
God is the husband to your widow.
神是你寡妇的丈夫，
He's the father to your orphan.
神是你孤儿的爸爸。
She wrote him and said this,
他写给他，告诉他说，
they will sever you from your physical head,
他们会把你的头，这个肉体的头给砍掉，
but they will not sever you from your spiritual
但是
head.
他们不能把你和你的属灵的元首，
And then right before he died,
在他临死前，
she said this,
他说
my dear husband,
亲爱的老公，
tomorrow when you dress yourself for your execution,
明天当你穿起衣服准备接受执行的时候，
you are dressing yourself for your wedding day.
你在装扮预备你的婚礼。
Now, how could she say that?
他怎么说出这样的话？
She knew of the greatness of God.
因为他认识神的伟大。
I'm so tired of all these false physicians
我对这些赤脚医生，我都厌倦透顶了。
healing God's people superficially,
他们肤肤浅浅的医治我百姓的伤。
saying, here's a little
我
principle,
说啊，这里是一些原则啊，
and here's a little principle.
啊，这些是一些这些原则啊。
When they should open up the book and say, behold your God.
他们应该打开圣经说，看看你的神呐、
What's God doing in your life, Paul?
保罗，神在你生命当中做了什么事？
I don't know.
我不知道，
Don't need to know.
我没必要知道，
I know who he is.
我只要知道他是谁就够了。
Paul's head's laying on a chopping block in the Roman Empire.
保罗在罗马帝国，他的头放在
I'm getting ready to put an
砍头。
axe on your neck, Paul.
保罗，我准备要把斧子砍下去了，把你头给砍掉了。
What do you think now, Paul, about your Jesus Christ?
保罗，你现在对你所信的耶稣是什么看的？
He says, I know whom I have believed in,
我知道我所信的是谁，
and I am persuaded.
而且我深信。
Now, would you be quiet and get on with what you have to do? I want to go home.
你要干啥就干吧，我要回家了。
That's your God.
这是你的神，
Not just the Apostle Paul's God.
不仅是使徒保罗的神，
That's
也是你的
your
神
God.，
也是你我的神啊。
He's great.
他是位伟大的神，
And it means a lot, doesn't it?
对，这对我们意义深长，对不对？
Finally, verse 15.
好，最后15节，
You have by your power redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph.
你曾用你的膀臂赎了你的名，就是雅各和约瑟的子孙。
You know, it says literally, you have by your arm redeemed your people.
好，这里啊，原文的意思是你用你的膀臂赎了你的名。
Something you need to know about God's arm.
有些事你要明白，神的膀臂啊，
It doesn't ever get tired.
神的膀臂永远不会疲倦的。
He did not redeem you to lose you.
他不仅仅拯救你，好叫你能够失落，不，
He redeemed you to demonstrate the greatness of His power.
他救赎了你，好彰显他的能力之大。
And He's not going to allow your salvation to fail,
他不会允许你的救恩会半途而废的。
because it will mean that He's not strong enough to finish what He began.
如果你半途而废的话，表示他开了工就不能完工。
If He has saved you,
如果他拯救了你，
He will save you,
他必拯救你到底，
because His reputation's on the line.
因为他的名誉是要受考验的。
To conclude this sermon,
好，我们最后
I want this
我要
for you and for me,
你跟我，
that when we're in the midst of darkness,
当我们在黑暗当中的时候，
when we're in the midst of suffering,
当我们在痛苦期间的时候，
when we're in the midst of confusion,
当我们在混乱的时候，
we can say what the psalmist says in verse 13.
我们可以像诗人在13节所说的一样，
Your way, O God, is holy.
神啊，你的作为是洁净的，
What God is great like our
有
God?
何神大如神呢？
I have many regrets in my Christian life.
我基督徒生命当中有很多后悔的事，
One of them is spending so much time being busy.
其中一个是花太多时间忙忙碌碌，东奔西跑。
When I wish I would have spent more time knowing the God of this book.
我应该花更多时间来认识这本书里所记载
Now,
的
it
神。
would be right for me to say simply knowing this book.
我仅仅说认识这本书就够了啊，我这样说没有错。
But I say knowing the God of this book,
但是我说认识这本书所记载的神，
or knowing God through this book.
或者借着这本书认识神，
Because I do not want you to get caught up in just impersonal intellectual knowledge.
因为我不要你成天仅仅是没有个人关系的，仅仅是头脑的理性上的知识、神学知识而已。
But I want you to be caught up in a relationship with God.
我要你全心付诸于跟神的关系上，认识他。
Well, I'm very sorry we did not advance very far
对
this
不起
last
啊
sermon.
我这前面一篇道没讲的很多啊，
We'll pick this theme up again
我们会再一次旧事重提，在
after a few minutes break.
休息几分钟之后，我们会
Let's
继续
pray.
讲下去。我们做个祷告。
Please visit our website at heartcrymissionary.com. There you will find information about the ministry, our purpose, beliefs and methodologies, and extensive information about the missionaries we are privileged to serve.